They destroyed my fence while I watched helplessly, but they had no idea they'd just made the biggest mistake of their lives. I heard the splintering wood from my kitchen. By the time I reached the yard, my neighbor Henderson and his crew were already halfway through, demolishing the fence that had stood between our properties for 15 years. "This is on my property line," he said coldly when I protested. "I can do what I want." I watched helplessly as they tore down every panel. Posts my late husband reinforced. Memories turned to rubble. Henderson didn't even clean up the debris on my side. The next morning, I called a surveyor. Mr. Patterson spent 2 days measuring, checking county records, comparing deeds. When he called with results, I had to sit down. "That fence was 6 inches onto your property, not his," he said. "And here's the interesting part. Henderson's new deck? It's 2 feet over onto your land." My lawyer drafted a cease and desist letter. Henderson's response? He banged on my door that evening. "Sue me if you want," he sneered. "I have better lawyers than you could ever afford." He was wrong. The court injunction came fast. The judge examined our survey, compared it with Henderson's rushed counter-survey that confirmed our findings, and made her ruling. Construction halted. "Remove all structures from Mrs. Chen's property within 30 days. Henderson's face went pale. But I wasn't finished. Over 2 months, the legal process unfolded. He dismantled half his deck, paid for my destroyed fence, covered my legal fees. The judge called it willful destruction of property. I could have rebuilt a simple wooden fence. Instead, I installed something permanent, a 7-foot brick and steel barrier with a 3-foot deep concrete foundation, decorative steel panels on top, climbing roses on my side, built exactly on the property line, confirmed by 3 separate surveys, elegant, immovable, eternal. Henderson never spoke to me again. 5 years later, my fence still stands, roses blooming, thick and fragrant. The Hendersons moved away. A kind young family lives there now. Sometimes I sit on my porch looking at that beautiful barrier and smile, because I learned that strength isn't about being the loudest. It's about knowing your worth, defending your boundaries, and building something so solid it can never be torn down. That fence will outlast us all.